I'd like to move into our theme for this evening, which is life in full bloom. Last week, we talked about and meditated on the seasons of our lives. And just as the seasons in nature change, we too, as human beings, shift and we change. And living life in full bloom requires us to be present for all moments of our lives, all periods of change and transition, the positive experiences, the negative experiences, and the neutral. As we discussed last week, the spring season represents an awakening. It represents a cleansing. And tonight we will ignite hope in our hearts and discover what it means to live life to the fullest with imagination, purpose, and meaning. We will awaken our own hearts and will discover what it means to live a full, well rounded, and rich life. Our lives have so much to offer us. There is so much to be discovered. There is so much to be enjoyed. And there are so many moments in our lives to appreciate and to savor. And by savoring these moments, we can feel a sense of gratitude. And this sense of gratitude leads to an overall greater appreciation of our life. Although this year has been an unusual one, we can still seize the opportunity to be fully present and alive with our experiences. We can still cultivate a full life of meaning and purpose. We can have a deep connection with ourselves, with others, with the natural world. And we can create, we have the power to create a life that we love. Through practicing mindfulness, we develop awareness. And with this awareness, we may recognize that we are living our lives in accordance with our values, that we are living out our purpose. And this may give us a sense of meaning and belonging in this world. Or with this awareness, we may recognize that we need to make shifts and changes in our lives to feel that we are living in accordance with our own personal values and are connected to our purpose. If we are not living in accordance with our values, and if we are not in line with our purpose, we can use this wedge of awareness to be creative, to ask ourselves new questions and to invite new perspectives so that we can make changes in our lives that align us with our authentic selves. The beauty of having this awareness is that we can choose to live our lives with intention. We can make conscious choices that allow us to live life to the best of our ability. As I mentioned earlier, living life to the fullest does not mean that we are only present for the happy, joyful, and exciting moments of our lives. It also means that we are present for the unpleasant or difficult moments. And mindfulness allows us to be present for what is happening as it is happening, including the challenging moments. When we recognize that we are experiencing a difficult moment or situation, it may feel hard to be with what is present. It may feel challenging. However, self compassion is a tremendous skill that enables us to comfort ourselves when we are hurting. And then this allows us to be fully present for the unwanted moments or experiences. During these difficult moments, we can use our imagination and think outside the box. Looking at things through a different lens and inviting new perspectives can ignite hope in our hearts. A full life is a life lived with purpose, meaning, and connection. A full life is a life that embraces the happy, the sad, exciting, boring, chaotic, and calm moments. A life in full bloom embraces and celebrates all moments of life because these moments collectively make up the entirety of our lives. And so tonight, we will explore our lives in full bloom. So, with that, I'd like to invite you to find a comfortable seat, whatever that might mean for you today or in this particular moment. And then just allowing the eyes to close or softening the gaze. And as you settle, I'd like to begin with this quote: like wildflowers, you must allow yourself to bloom. Anonymous. So, continuing to settle into your seat, making any necessary shifts or changes in your posture, maybe taking any small movements that the body might need before you settle into some stillness. And then just gently resting the awareness on the breath in the body. No need to change or manipulate the breath in any way. Just staying with the breath as it is, here and now. Noticing one breath in and one breath out. Another breath in and another breath out. And just continuing to follow the breath in this way. Staying with each breath, breath by breath and moment by moment. And now take a moment and reflect on a time when you felt that you were living life in full bloom. And recall as many details as you possibly can. Did you have a daily routine, a meaningful job? Were you volunteering or eating healthy and exercising? Just reflecting on this period in your life, this time of embracing life and living it to the fullest. And for those of you who may have never experienced such an occurrence, know that that is okay. Just taking some time to envision what your life might look like if you were to live your life in full bloom. What might that be like? So, just reflecting on this now. And so now we are going to reflect on a few of the very many personal ways that we might live our best lives. So, taking some time, taking a moment to reflect on your values. Our values are what we find to be important in the way that we live our lives. What do you value? What do you find important? And perhaps it's dependability, kindness, honesty, open mindedness, respect, friendship. And whatever it is, just reflecting on what it is that you value, what is important to you. Just taking some time to reflect on and recount your own personal values. And are you living in accordance with your own personal values? Are you living your own personal truth? Are the actions that you take in daily life in line with what you find to be most important? And perhaps the answer is yes. And if so, reflecting on how you live in line with your values. And if the answer is no, perhaps offering yourself a hand over the heart or another soothing place on the body. Offering yourself some compassion, remembering that living life in full bloom requires us to be present for all experiences and moments. And remembering that in the difficult moments, we can offer ourselves the gift of self compassion. And now, from this place of self compassion, reflecting on how you might make a shift to live more in line with your own personal values, using your imagination, getting creative, thinking outside the box. What changes can you take, or actions might you take to live more in line with your values? For example, if one of your values is friendship, perhaps scheduling a weekly Zoom call with your dearest friend to catch up. Or maybe one of your values is open mindedness, and so you might try listening to a neighbor speak without judgment. So, just reflecting on what actions you can take to live more in line with your values. Getting creative here. And perhaps by using your imagination and bringing a fresh perspective to this question, you have found some hope in the possibility of living in accordance with your values. And now reflecting on what it is in life that gives you a sense of purpose. What is it that makes you excited to wake up each morning and start the day? What makes you feel alive? And just taking some time to reflect on this now. And purpose does not have to be something grandiose. It could be something as simple as being a loving parent, or a helpful neighbor, or a diligent worker. These acts are world changing. They have a greater impact than we often realize. And so, just taking some time to reflect on what your purpose is or what it might be. And maybe many things are coming to mind, or perhaps just one. And now taking some time to reflect on how your purpose makes the world a better place. How does your purpose make the world a better place? Recognizing its importance not only for you, but also for those around you. For instance, if your purpose is to be a loving parent, you teach your children what love is. You are helping another human being develop into their best selves. You are offering them kindness and support so that they can do what they need to live a fulfilling life and to contribute to the world. Whatever it is that you have chosen, reflecting on how your purpose contributes to the world on a larger scale. Maybe finding a sense of meaning in your purpose. Recognizing that your purpose does, in fact, make the world a better place. And really sensing into your important connection with others and the world around you. We must all live up to our fullest potential. We depend on one another to do so, to help others live their lives to the fullest, to make the world a better place. And maybe sensing into feelings of hope and belonging. Maybe noticing what it feels like to recognize that when we live our lives to the fullest, it not only benefits us, but also others, the greater community, the world. And sensing what it feels like now in the body to notice these positive feelings of hope, connection, belonging, purpose, meaning, whatever it is that you might be feeling. Maybe even savoring these good feelings, lingering with them for a moment, and then letting them go. Live Life to the Fullest by S. Hathina. Life is not always a bed of roses. It is a combination of petals, leaves, and thorns. Some situations act as a thorn in our life, but it is up to us how to respond. Life is beautiful and short, so learn from a tree about standing tall. Be kind and gentle as a lamb, but don't ever forget to be brave as a lion. Some days can be dark and gloomy. Remember that there is always some sunshine which makes life bright. You don't need to be good at everything. Try to be the best in any one thing. Success is hard to get if you don't attempt. Because if you don't try, then the only thing left is the pain of the opportunity that you let go. The road to life is not straight, but it is one's perseverance that helps us travel on that road, despite the twists and turns. When you're ready, beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, allowing the eyes to open. Maybe taking any movements that the body might need, little stretch.